Becoming a director of nursing at 24 years old, I knew I had a lot of learning ahead of me. In the past 4 years, I've really strived to seek out programs and conferences that would hone my leadership skills. So when I saw the Nurse Leadership Program, I knew this year-long program would benefit me much more than the one-day conferences that I had been attending. And I can say 100% it has. While it did hit on some of the main leadership concepts like coaching versus mentoring and using personality tests to create the most productive teams, the program also delved deeper into leadership and offered insight on human resources, finances, problem solving, piloting change. A nurse leader in a critical access hospital often has duties in most of these areas, so it's incredibly helpful to have education beyond the immediate inpatient nursing department. First, the Nurse Leadership Program has shown me that everyone has something to bring to the table. Whether you've been in your position for 4 years or 40 years, everyone has something to offer. I think it's really important to remember that and acknowledge that. We know that when multiple generations come together to complete a project, each generation might have a different approach, and that's okay. The younger generations will likely do things more electronically, more efficient, and the older generations might shy away from this, but they'll have more experience to draw from. The Nurse Leadership Program has really highlighted that we're able to pilot change as nurses. Secondly, I think everyone, healthcare or not, can agree that with the COVID pandemic, there have been increased responsibilities and unfortunately, less time to get more done. And so arguably, this could have been the busiest time for management and nurse leaders to take a nurse leadership course. But also, I think there's value in carving out time to take this course amidst the pandemic. The Nurse Leadership Program allowed us to share routines, workflows, processes, policies on how COVID looked at our facilities, as well as camaraderie. It doesn't matter if you're part of Avera, Stanford, Monument, or Independent. Everyone has been working together to keep patient loads manageable within South Dakota. I'd say do it. I was fortunate to have my facility sponsor my participation in the Nurse Leadership Program. The program was highly beneficial and it'll serve me well in my current role and also in my future as a leader. Even if all the benefits I've already outlined don't convince you, the confidence I've gained as a nurse leader because of this program and my co-participants is incredible. I can confidently say now that I'm 29 years old, I'm the director of nursing, without worrying that people will think I'm inadequate because of my age.
The Nurse Leadership Program was recommended to me from my CEO. I'm at an independent hospital, so I have a close relationship with our CEO. And she knew that I was brand new to the role, like literally just weeks prior to the program starting. And it was my first nurse administration role. So she knew that I would love the opportunity to connect with other people in the around the state, get some viewpoints on other leaders in the state. And it was health focused. So it was a good time during the pandemic to get other viewpoints on how people were surviving. So right in the beginning, one of the courses was looking at a problem and then focusing on the root cause of the problem. And then it kind of walked you through objectively and how to solve that problem. So it was more like identify the root cause, and then you needed to look at all views or viewpoints or sides of the story before you reacted. During the pandemic, there was just so many changes being thrown at us right away that it was kind of unknown, the reasonings for a lot of things. So as those were pushed out to us as far as infection control things and new things, how to treat patients with all the changes in the beginning from the pandemic, that it was important for everybody to start knowing the why. So I pushed those out in our staff meetings, and that really seemed to help calm people's nerves. So that was my biggest takeaway from this session. Other things I really picked up on a lady that said 30 minutes before her entire day, she just prepared for the day. And I really took that in. So when I get to work, I even keep my lights on. I just have a lamp on my desk and I just prepare for my day. And if I get pulled away on the floor, I can easily just come back to my spot for my meeting and I know what it's all about and I'm prepped for it. If I take a staff meeting and we talk about a specific case, I focus on the PI or the performance improvement piece, not identify everything that went wrong, but what we learned from it and how we are changing our practice going forward. My biggest thing is you don't know what you don't know. So join the course, get out of your box, get out of the little circle that you're in right now and learn other viewpoints. Learn from the professionals that have been in this position for a long time and now teach about it because they have that experience under their belt. So jump in head first, decide on a project right away and do your homework and get that part done. And then at the end, it kind of all comes together and makes more sense of why you were in that program in the beginning. If you're a new leader, I highly recommend joining this program because it just helps you see the bigger picture of it and you're not just crossing everything off each day. You kind of see the bigger picture and what your facility or even your staff, what your goal is.
My director of nursing thought that I would gain some knowledge to better serve in my position as the assistant director of nursing. And so she signed me up, and then she came and said, hey, I signed you up for this class, and I want you to go into it with an open mind. And I learned that I had to change and adapt more so than others adapting and changing to me. So I had a different perspective going into it. I've never held a leadership role in my nursing career until now. So the knowledge that I learned helped me grow with every conversation that I had going forward. So I've had some pretty successful conversations with people that maybe misunderstood me previously, and so we've been able to work through that. And back in February, we talked about emotional intelligence and just learning about the difficult conversations and how to keep calm and focused on the reason for the conversation has helped me tremendously in the last 6 months or so, especially with COVID PPE burnout. Maybe it's attendance issues, maybe it's the non-compliance with COVID testing, things like that. And so we've been able to move forward in a better atmosphere. I think every leader would benefit from the program, whether it's the communication skills, maybe it's learning skills, or maybe it's just gathering information or personal well-being in the program. That has helped me so much, and just being able to open yourself up to that learning process.